to class. And mind you, you'll be receiving your first take home today. Just a brief assignment, okay, to keep you on your feet. All right. And to use to practice. Okay. So just like something you can play around with. Okay. So. All right, so we've seen date and time functions. Today we're moving on to logical functions, right? So what are logical functions? What do we mean when we talk about logical functions? Logical functions. Can anyone help us? Logical functions. Anyone? 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 Logical functions. I mean, this slide has been sent to us. No one wants to say anything. No, this is unacceptable. I have to talk. Oh. Doesn't anyone want to say anything? Logical functions. Any idea? They are mathematical functions that determine the direction to take. Okay. All right, that's not bad. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. Use to test whether a situation is true or false. Okay. Refer to functions when there are certain situations. Okay. Use to test if a statement is true or false, such as if statements helps to achieve a desired result. Is there any function that does not help to achieve a desired result? I mean, your sum function, it helps to achieve a desired result now. Your concatenate function, it helps to achieve a desired result. So I don't think there's any function that does not help to achieve a desired result. They all have the results that you get from the functions. And for comparisons, languages used in Excel to denote true or false, used to test mathematical statements, used to test true or false in a situation, used to test the validity of a statement. I love that. Use the spreadsheet to test or confirm if a situation is true or false. So logical functions are not only used in spreadsheets. Okay, but I think I understand your definition. Checks whether a condition is met, returns one value if true, and another value if false. Okay, it is a decision-making function. All right. So very good from you all. Very good from you all. Okay, so so yes, let's have it. The logical functions. So the logical functions basically are functions or a set of functions that allow you to test logics. Okay, logical reasoning. All right. So there is a cause and an effect. Okay, so to every cause there is an effect. Okay, so logical functions allow you to test a cause, okay, and to make an effect depending on the outcome of the test. All right, so to test the validity of a statement, okay, your logical functions can either return true or false, or they can as well return a specific value that you want them to return if the condition is either true or false. Let's look at an example. Okay, if naira to dollar has hit 2,000 before, say true, else say false. If I test that condition, what will the answer be?
Kindly come again, please.
Huh? All right, so the condition is naira to dollar exchange rate has reached 2,000 naira to a dollar. Beautiful. So it's a simple false state. So it is a false statement, isn't it? It is a false statement. Good. Now, what if I say Tinubu is the president of Nigeria? Is that true or is that false? All right, so that's a true statement. Good. Okay, so let's see one more. Okay, so beautiful. Now, if I say, let me use an example on, let me see. Okay, so the network condition in Nigeria is always stable. False. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Now, if I want to test for a condition, okay, now, all right, and this time around, let's say I'm testing two conditions, okay, two conditions. Now, if I say the network in Nigeria is always stable and Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, what do you think the truth statement is? What do you think the answer would be? Is it true or false? The network condition in Nigeria is always stable and Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. Okay, so I'm saying false and true, false and true, false and true. Beautiful, good. Thank you very much. So now, when you know that it is false and true, look at that joining factor. You have two statements. One is false and one is true. Okay, and it's being joined by and. Okay, if you want to combine two truth statements, when I say truth statement, a truth statement is either true or false. That's what I mean by truth statements. Okay, it is either true or false. All right. Now, when you join two truth statements, okay, true and false or false and true, what is the final truth statement? So if I say something is false and true, what is the final truth statement? What will it return? False. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. False, false, false. Good. So it means that if I test the condition, the network condition in Nigeria is always stable and Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, the answer or the resulting truth statement will simply be false because it is false and true. So once I have false and true, it will simply give me false. Okay? Or if I say the network condition in Nigeria is always stable or Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, what will the final truth statement be? The final one. What will it be? True. True. Okay, so for those of you that are saying true, can you give me a reason why you said it is true? And for those of you that are saying false, can you give me a reason why it is false? So I just want two people. So one person that says true. Why is it true? You can unmute yourself and speak. Let's hear you. Why is it true? And for the person that says it is false, why is it false? Let's hear you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
The reason why the other one is true is due to the operation. You know, we are dealing with is bringing or. Assuming it's and now is another different case, but this one now is or is having a condition and also is an understatement anyway. So it's something like they are putting a probability or. So that's just it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So I don't know if that's right yet. Let me hear from the other party. So who believes the answer is false? If you believe the answer is false, can you signify and just unmute yourself and give us your reason for choosing false? Yes, you can unmute yourself. What's your reason for choosing false? Nobody chose false.
Good evening.
Okay. Yeah, good evening.
If the operation is separated by an OR function, then it gives the results to be true, according to the table we are seeing on the screen, sir.
Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, so now let us now talk about these functions. Okay, so you can see the and, or, and not function. Okay, they will take logical condition statement just like we've just made. Okay, the network is always stable in Nigeria. Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. Dollar has risen to $2,000 naira per dollar, and so on and so forth. Okay, now they take statements like that and test their validity. Okay, so you can test the validity of one statement. You can test the validity of more than one statement. Okay, but when you want to test for the validity of more than one statement, okay, you make use of functions such as and, or functions. The and function and the or function. Okay, now what is the difference between the two of them? No matter the number of conditions you are testing, let me just give you a simple and direct approach. Okay, the major difference between the two of them. If you are testing 5 conditions, okay, you can say Naira has risen to $2,000 naira per dollars, and Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, and network is always stable in Nigeria, and once it's 7 p.m., everywhere will be dark. And if you are testing like 5 conditions like that, some might be true, some might be false. Okay, but if the conditional statements, the the joining keyword there is and. Okay, the and will only return true if all the conditions that are tested are true. So it means the first statement must be true, the second statement must be true, the third statement must be true, the fourth statement must be true, the fifth one must be true for the and to return true. Okay, if there is any one that is not true at all, and you are using the and function, it will automatically return false. Do you get that? Let me come again. Now, if you are using the and statement to test multiple conditions, more than one condition, okay, it can only be true if everything, all the conditions you are testing together are true. Okay, once one of the condition is false, all right, it will automatically return false. Now, let's look at a brief example. If I say I want to give my nephew, I promise you a bicycle, but these are the conditions. Okay, number 1, you must get above 80 in mathematics. Number 2, you must get above 80 in English. Number 3, you must get above 80 in basic science. Number 4, you must come first in your class. Okay? Now, 4 conditions. He has to get above 80 in maths, English, basic science. Okay? And then the last one is that what? He must come first in this class. Okay? Now, I am using the AND function. You have to get above 80 in maths, and you have to get above 80 in English, and you have to get above 80 in basic science, and you have to come first in your class. Then I will buy you a bicycle. Okay? Now, imagine after the semester exam, he writes the term exam, he writes it, and then the results comes out. Okay? To determine whether I will buy him a bicycle, we will now test those conditions. Okay? So, did he get above 80 in maths? We see that it is true. Good. Above 80 in English. We see that that one too is true. Beautiful. Above 80 in basic science. That is true again. Beautiful. First position in the class. We see that that is not met. He came second. So that is false. Will I buy him the bicycle? Automatically, no. I can't buy him the bicycle. Okay? Beautiful. Because he did not meet one of the conditions. That is the use of the AND function. Okay? So, instead of saying, no, he will buy you bicycle, he will not buy you bicycle, the AND function will now return either true or false. Okay, so me buying him the bicycle is true. Me not buying him the bicycle is false. Okay, so because not everything is true, all right, the AND statement will return false. Okay, now let's move on to the OR statement. The OR statement, very simple. Okay, he does not want to know how many of them are false. Okay, if you like, test 1 million conditions. Okay, if 999,000 of them are false and one of the condition is true, the OR statement will return true. So if I tell my nephew, okay, I will buy you a bicycle if you get above 80 in maths, or you get above 80 in English, or you get above 80 in basic science, or you come first in your class, then I will buy you a bicycle. What do you think will happen using the previous, conditions that we tested? Do you think I will buy him a bicycle? Yes, I will definitely buy him a bicycle, even though he did not come first in his class, but he met one of the criteria. So if one of the criteria is met, automatically the OR function will return true. Okay, so the final function that you see there, which is not, that one is just like a negation. Okay, so anything that returns true, if you use not on it, it will automatically change it to false. Anything that returns false, if you use not on it, it automatically changes it to true. Okay, now we've seen AND or not functions. Okay, let's go ahead and see and demonstrate how they work in our Excel. So I'm going to start with AND before coming over to if function. Okay, let me I want to rearrange it. Wow. What's happening? Okay. Okay. Thank God. Okay, so now let us say we want to test a condition. Okay, we want to test a condition on this set of incomes. Okay, we have some set of employees, how much they make in side hustle and how much they make in their normal daily jobs. Okay, so let me change this from income to salary. Sorry about that. What's happening? This is my salary. This is my key season. Okay, from side hustle. Okay, so side hustle and salary. Okay, now we want to test a condition or two conditions. We want to see those people that their side hustle is greater than 50,000 and their salary is greater than 100,000. Okay, side hustle greater than 50,000 and salary greater than 100,000. How do we test? So don't bother about the fact that this data is quite small, okay? Because imagine we have like 1,000 records. This function will come in handy, isn't it? Right? There is another way we can do it, okay? Looking at how I've taught you before. Can anyone help? Who knows? I want to see, okay, the people that the salary is greater than 100,000 and the side hustle is greater than 50,000. Let me see those that have been following. No, not flash fill. Oh, beautiful. I really have people that are following. Very good. Filter. I would filter. So it means I'll filter those people that are earning side hustle greater than 50,000. Once I filter that, then I'll filter the salary as well to see those that are earning greater than 100,000. Beautiful. So it means that if I give you guys an assignment, you guys will definitely scale through. You'll kill the assignment. Okay, beautiful. So now let us now see using the AND function to see those that meet the condition and those that do not. Okay. So I'm going to start with equals to and then AND. Okay, because the function is AND. I'll open brackets. Now, AND what? AND takes in multiple tests. It can be one, it can be two, it can be more than two. Okay, so the first condition I want to test is what? The side hustle is greater than 50,000, isn't it? So I will click on that cell, this, and I will use that operator, greater than, and I will type 50,000. Okay, comma. Then the second condition is what? Salary greater than 100,000. I will click salary greater than 100,000, and I will close my bracket. What do you think this answer will give me? Who will help? Who can help me out with that? What do you think this answer will give me?
True of us.
Oh my God, these people have killed. These people have finished logical functions. Beautiful. We're going to get false. Okay, it shows you are really following. We're going to get false. And the reason why we're getting false is because one of the statements is already false. And we are using the AND statement. So automatically it will return false. Very good. I love that. Okay, so now, if I want to replicate all the way down, I'll click this cell, come to the corner and double click. Do you see that? Okay, do you see that? All right, so now here I have true, here I have true. Why are they true? If I come to the values, 77,000 is greater than 50,000, isn't it? So this is true. Salary is greater than 100,000, right? So this is true. Now, because I have true and true, it returns true. Likewise, down here, I have true and true. It returns true. Okay? But you will see here, salary is greater than 100,000. But the side hustle is not greater than 50,000. Rather, it is less. So, because it is false and true, it automatically returns false. Okay, so we should take it again. Let's take it again. This time around using the OR function. If I now decide to use the OR function, equals to or open bracket. The first condition is that what? Let's see, side hustle greater than 50,000, comma, that's the first condition. The second condition is what? Salary. This one, greater than 100,000. Then I close my bracket. Now, what do you think this would return? Very good. Very good. And why will it return true? Why will it return true? One statement is true. I love that answer because one statement is correct. I love the fact that you did not even say one statement is true, one statement is false. You just told me one condition is correct. I love that. That is direct to the point. Once one of them is true, and I'm using the OR function, I don't need to test or check or stress myself about any other one. It will automatically return true. Okay? Beautiful. So you see that it returns true. Okay? So I come here, I'll double click this, and it replicates down. Do you see that now? Okay? So it's the same thing for the AND function, and you're just changing the OR to AND. Okay? But now, look at the situation where I don't want to just return false or true or false. I want to return a value. Okay? I want to return a value. All right? Let's say I want to return conditions met. Or past. All right? How do I do this? How do I do this? Okay? This is where the if function comes into play. The if function now allows you to specify. Good. Here. Now, the if function now allows you to test a condition or multiple condition. It now gives you the power, the liberty, the freedom to choose what to return. Okay? If the conditions are true or the conditions are false, the if function will now return a specific value that you tell it to return. For instance, now in this sheet, okay, I don't want it to return just false, true, false again. Okay, I want to use the if function to return a value. Okay, let's say if the side hustle is greater than 50,000 and the salary is greater than 100,000, then it should return true. You can see the condition and joining statement there is what? And. Okay, now because the joining statement is and, it means that once one of the statements is false, everything to just return false automatically. Okay, now the if statement we start with equals to if open brackets, the logical test. Now, because I am testing two logical tests, okay, I want to use either my AND function or my OR function. Now, I want to use my AND function because of the conditions I gave. And I will start with AND. You can see, I will open bracket for the AND function. I will now test the condition. This, please pay attention. Look at it though. Okay, I'm just starting so that you won't have to say take it again. Okay, do you see that? This greater than 50,000, comma, that is the first condition. Then salary greater than 100,000. Then I close the bracket for my AND function. Now, the entire AND function is the logical test. Okay, now remember that the AND function, okay, will either return true or false. Now here, if I close the if function, the bracket for the if function, if I close that one as well and I press enter, you see that it gives an error. Isn't it? Okay, now I have to go ahead and give, okay, what value do you want to return? What value do you want to return? So after my AND function, okay, once I close the bracket for my AND function, comma, value if true, meaning this condition I'm testing, if it is true, what should I return? I'll tell it to return past. Now, I will not just type past like this, okay? Because this is a key, this is a string, a text. It is not a function, okay? So it is a text, so I have to put it in what? Who can guess? Beautiful. Quotes. Double quotes. Double quotes. Good. So it means that, yes, I am actually teaching and people are getting it. Very good. So it has to be in double quotes. So I'll open my double quotes and then I'll put past. Okay? Then I'll close my double quotes. That is for the value if true. Then comma. Now, if it is not true, if the condition returns false, what should it return? I'll say failed. Failed. I'll close my double quotes. Now I can close my brackets and press enter. Do you see that? It returned failed because the condition was not met. I'm already showing if and function now. You see that? Using the if and the and function together. Okay, so if I come here and I double click all the way down, it's returned past for only this function, for only these ones that passed the two conditions. Why? Because I'm using the AND statement. Okay, so if it is the if or statement as well, if it is the if and the or statements, I can say equals to. I don't mean. Wow. Seems it's strange. I need to change this keyboard. My keyboard keys are seasoned. I'm actually pressing the keys. And it's not showing anything. Okay. So let me just think should be able to make use of this. All right. So I'm going to start with an equals to sign, isn't it? The if and or statement. So if and then if what? What are the tests you want? What are the conditions you want to test? I want to test two conditions. So I must either use and or. This time around, I want to use the or condition. So I'll start with or. Open bracket again. What is the condition? Side hustle greater than 50,000, comma. The second condition is what? Salary greater than 100,000. I close my brackets. Then comma. Now the value if true, what should it return? I'll tell it to return past. Shift and then my quotes. Now tell it to return what? Past. Past, close my quotes, comma, value if false. I'll tell it to return what? Failed. So in double quotes again. And then I'll close my bracket. Do you see that? And then I do what? I press enter. So for the if or function, you see that it's returned passed. Okay, so if I double click this all the way down, I see that, okay, only one failed, meaning that everything was failed. So salary is not up to 50,000. Side hustle is not up to 50,000. Salary is not up to 100,000. So the two conditions were not met. Hence, it returned false. And once it is false, the value to return is what? Failed. So instead of returning false, return failed. Instead of returning true, return passed. Okay, that is what the if function does. So if you are using just the if function alone, you can test just one condition. Now I want to test just one condition. Let's say the condition I want to test is on just the salary column. Okay. Let's say the condition I want to test is on just the salary column. I want to see those people that are earning more than 160,000. Okay, if earning more than 160,000, then true or passed. Else false. So I'll start with an equals to sign. My if statement, if open bracket. The logical test is what? Salary, click the value, greater than 160,000, comma, value if true. I'll say what? Passed. I'll close my double quotes, comma, value if false is what? I'll say failed. And I'll do what? To my double quotes.
We can change the first if statement to if and.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so you can see here I'm testing just one condition. But if I want to test more than one condition, I have to use either the and or the or function. Okay, and then I press enter. It says passed. Come here and I double click and it goes all the way down. Let me change this one. If and all right, so that is for the if and or function. Okay, so true and false. True and false. Now the true and false does not really do anything big like that. It's just conditions. True, false to true. You start with equals to and you say true. Open and close brackets. Okay, you're not putting anything. So once you just do this, so just return true. Okay, should in case you want maybe true to appear in a bracket or in a cell. Okay, and just use that formula just like that. Okay, if it's false as well, you can just say equals to. I start with the equals to sign. Say false. Open brackets, close brackets, enter. Just return false. Okay, and then for the not, if I say equals to not, I open brackets and I click on this true. So not true. What will you return? What will not true return? False. Beautiful. If I press enter, it returns false. Do you see that? And then not false will return what? Not false, those brackets. Automatically returns true. See that? Okay? Now, all these conditions are very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. But what if I want to set condition on a particular range? Now, the if function allows me to return one value if the condition tested is true. Or it should return another value if the condition tested is false. But what if I want to test 5 conditions? In the sense that if the first condition is met, it will return a value. If not, it will go to the next condition. it will test that condition. If that condition is met, it will return a value. If it is not met, it will go to the next condition. If that condition is met, it will return a value. If that one too is not met, it will move to the next function. Okay, so if all the conditions are not met, it will now give a final value. Do you get that? For instance, now, if I say, okay, how much do you have in your account? And it tells me, oh, I have 20,000, or no, let's say he says he has 50,000 naira. And I say, okay, beautiful. Let's use 50,000 naira as maybe the bench. Okay, no. Don't let me use that example. Let me use this one. Now, imagine you walk into a cinema. Okay, people watching movies and all of that. Or you are at an event. Okay, you have audience and then you just want to play a game. Okay, and then you now say, if your shirt is color blue, okay, 5,000 for you. Else, no money for you. Okay, so it means that people that are with color blue shirts, that will be true. They'll get 5,000. If not, no money for them. But if I want to give condition for each of the colors, e.g., if you are wearing color blue shirts, 5,000 for you. If you are wearing color yellow shirts, 10,000 for you. If you are wearing color red shirts, 15,000 for you. If you are wearing color black shirts, 20,000 for you. If you are wearing color white shirts, 50,000 for you. Do you see that? So if the condition is met, return this value. If not, it will test another condition. Okay? But if I say, okay, so if you have between 0 naira and 10 naira in your account, in your on your airtime, on your phone airtime, I will give you 1,000 naira. If you have between like a loop, not necessarily like a loop. If you are looking at it in the context of programming, it will be an if-else statement. Okay, like elif statement. If we were to use Python for an example, if elif else. Okay, but let's leave that out. Now, if you have between 0 and 10 naira as airtime, I'll give you 1,000. If you have between 11 naira or if you have more than 10 naira but less than 20 naira, I'll give you 2,000. If you have more than 20 naira, from 20 naira but less than 30 naira, I'll give you 3,000. So it means that the first condition, it will test it. Once it sees that, okay, this value is not between 0 and 10, it will move on to the next condition to test. So it will keep on testing the condition one after the other like that till it gets to the final condition. So you need to be very careful in the sense that, imagine you want to test the condition that, okay, if the person has 0 to 10 naira, give him 1,000. If he has 10 to 20 naira, give him 2,000. If he has 20 to 30 naira, give him 3,000, and so on. Okay? Now, imagine the person has 5 naira. When you are now giving your statement, you now started from, if you have less than 100 naira, give him 10,000. If you have less than 90 naira, give him 9,000. If you have less than 80 naira, give him 8,000. If you have less than 70 naira, give him 7,000. Okay? Now, it says the rich keeps getting richer. Okay, I see you understand that. Because now, but not really. Because once it tests the first condition, you have less than 100 naira. 5 naira is less than 100 naira, isn't it? It will just automatically give him 10,000. Meanwhile, there is a condition that if he has less than 10 naira, it is 1,000 you should give him. But because of the way you gave the statement, it already tested that first condition. Once it meets that condition, it won't test the remaining one. So you have to start from the bottom and rise to the top. Let's look at an example now. If I'm going to use if statement equals to ifs, open brackets, and the condition I want to test, okay, let's say salary. Okay, now if the salary is between 0 to 50,000, okay, I'm going to say small. If it's between 50 to 150, I'll say big. Then if it is between 150 and above, I'll say, okay, 50 to 150, I'll say medium. 150 and above, I'll say big. Okay, so let's test the condition. Equals to, or let's say 0 to 100, 100 to 200, then 200 and above. Okay, now the first one, if what? If what? Now, the first condition I want to test is that, okay, is the value between 0 and 100. How can I test that value? Or how can I test that condition? How can I test that condition? I want to give the condition that the value, if the value is between 0 and 100,000. How can I test that condition? Who knows? Okay, let me help you out here. I can simply use the AND function. Okay, how can I use the AND function to test a condition that a value is between two particular numbers? Oh my God, beautiful. Less than and greater than. Less than and greater than. Beautiful. Simple. So you see that in using this logic, that's why they call it logical function. Logic has to do with you thinking critically. So it means that if you cannot think critically, you cannot apply the function. Simply, just put it like that. Okay? So it has to do with your logic first. How do you understand the situation? How can you interpret it? Okay? Before you can now say, okay, I am writing the code or the query to answer this. Okay, so logical function and lookup functions are usually like the two functions that take time when we're teaching Excel. At times we just teach those two for one class. You see that we've been looking at techniques. In some classes we looked at like 5-6 techniques. Okay, but logical functions, lookup functions, one class, assignment, another class, just to make sure that, okay, yes, satisfy yourself that you teach it to at least a good extent. Okay, so I want to test, is a value between 0 and 100. Somebody said I can use less than, greater than sign. How will I do this? Now watch. Is this value between 0 and 100? How can I test it? I will say if the value is greater than 0 and less than 100,000. Do you see that? The value greater than 0 and less than 100,000. Now, because of the AND function here that I'm using, it means I will start first with the AND function, isn't it? And then I will now select my value. This value greater than 0, comma, this same value less than 100,000. Okay, if it was in programming, that might have worked. But here in Excel, it won't work. Okay, if it was in programming, yes, Samuel, that might have worked. But here in Excel, it won't work to put it like that. Okay, so I want to see that, okay, the value is greater than 0 and the value is less than 100,000. I cannot use the OR statement because I know what the OR statement will return if one of them is true. So far it is greater than 0. If it is 1 million, it will just return true, even though it is not less than 100,000. So I cannot use the OR statement in that case. I will use the AND statement because I want to make sure that the value is both greater than 0 and it is as well less than 100,000. So I will close my bracket on that, comma. Now, if that first condition is met, what should it return? I'll tell it to return small. So open quotes, small, close quotes, comma. I have given my first condition and the value to return if that condition is met. Now, if the condition is not met, meaning that AND statement returns false, I have to give another condition for you to test, isn't it? Okay, what will that condition be? What if it is from 100,000 but less than 200,000? Two values in between. I will use my AND function again. And open brackets again. Do you see that? And open brackets. Select it. Salary greater than or equal to. So I can say greater than equal to. Okay, meaning starting from 100,000. 100,000, comma, and salary less than 200,000. Okay, I close my brackets for the AND function, comma. So if that condition is the one that is met, what should it return? I'll tell it to return medium. Open double quotes, medium, close double quotes, comma. Now, finally, if it is greater than or equal to 200,000, you can see that I'm not testing two conditions. It starts from 200,000 and above. I will just say, okay, this value greater equal 200,000. So if this condition is what is met, comma, return what? Large. Close double quotes, close my brackets for the if function, and press enter. Do you see that? It automatically returns large. So if I double click, do you see that? Just look at that. You see where it returns small. You see where it returns medium. Okay? And that is the beauty of ifs function. That is the beauty of ifs function. Okay? So, we're going to be taking our attendance at towards the end of the class. Let's proceed today. So it won't always be the same way every class. Okay. Sometimes I might take it at the beginning. Sometimes I take it at the end. All right. Sometimes I take it at the middle. Okay. So that is the logical function. So I will implore you to practice more. Okay. Then I will also send you some resources as well. Okay. To better understand it. All right. But that is logical functions. That is logical functions. Okay, lookup functions. Lookup functions. Lookup functions. Who knows? Who knows? What are lookup functions? Who knows what a lookup function is? Who knows what a lookup function is? What is the lookup function? It is the process of using unique identifier to search for data. I like the keywords that you have there. I like the keywords you have there. Unique identifier. Unique identifier. I like that keyword now. I like that keyword. Using a particular criteria to return a result. The if function does that as well now. The if function does that as well. But I'm looking for. I like that particular. What's it called? I like that particular. Looking for using unique identifier to search for data. I like that. I like that. I like that. Use a linking more than one sheet together with a given result in mind. Okay. We use the VLOOKUP when you need to find things in a table or a range by row. Okay. Instead of using small, medium, large, can we use color like green, amber, red? Why not? You can. It's your choice. Whatever you want it to return, you give it to it. All right. To find data in a table or range by row. Okay, beautiful. I think we've all tried. So the look up, just like the name implies, look up means to find. If you're just joining, welcome. Okay. The attendance is going to be passed anytime soon. Okay, so I implore you to stay in the class, all right, and pay attention. All right. So now, as the name implies, look up. If I say look up a particular word in the dictionary, what do I mean? What am I saying? What I'm simply saying is that you should search for the word in the dictionary. Yes, find. Very good, sir. Find. I'm telling you to find a word, to search for a word in the dictionary. Okay? Now, in order to search for that word, what do you need? You need to know the word. You need to know the spelling of the word. You need to know the exact word you are looking for. You won't just go and open dictionary and just be going through without knowing what you are looking for. Isn't it? So you need the word that you are looking for. Okay? You need the word you are looking for. Now, let's say, for instance, you want to know the okay, let's say I'm using a dictionary. Okay, you want to know if a word is pronoun or a noun. You want to know if a word is pronoun or a noun or a verb. Okay? And they say, check the dictionary, you will find it there. If you are checking the dictionary, will you go and be checking for pronouns or nouns? No, you will first check for the word. So it means that to know if a word is pronoun or a noun or a verb, you need the word first. So it means you need something to identify the word. When you identify the word, you will now check if it's a pronoun or a noun. Okay? If someone walks into our store and says he bought an item, okay, and when he got home, he discovered that the item has gotten spoiled. He was not able to return it for the past 1 week. He just go back. Maybe he traveled and he just got back today, so he came back to return it, to show you and to return it. And you want to confirm that, oh, okay, it is true he bought this item, it is true this, it is true that. What will you do? You ask for the receipt of the item, isn't it? When you ask for the receipt, you will check for the item number or barcode, the receipt ID. Rather, you will check for the receipt ID first, isn't it? Now, when you check for the receipt ID and you have the receipt ID, you will now look for the receipt ID on your own records. Okay? You either check for the receipt ID or you can narrow it down to a particular day. On the receipt, it will tell you, okay, he bought this item 3rd of February 2024. So you narrow it down to 3rd of February 2024. Now, amongst the records for that day, you check for the receipt ID. Now, that unique identifier there is the receipt ID. So it is the receipt ID you are looking for. When you now find the receipt ID, beautiful, it will bring out all the details regarding what was purchased that day. So when you see it on your record, you can now begin to confirm, okay, so the barcode is this on my record. But this item, the barcode we can see on this item